This is a good ass topic. Like, this is a deep ass college.
For real.
I'm just, people don't have these conversations. People don't have these conversations. Or if they do, there's that one person out the group who just have their opinion, of course, and don't want to sit down and listen to everybody else's viewpoint. Not saying that we all are on one of, like one accord.
But everybody has their.
But we had our own separate pieces, huh?
We're all on the accord of fuck the city up though.
But no, like, there's people who will
accord.
just blank out the conversation and not take an active role in it.
Yeah.
Just saying, oh, it's my opinion. Okay, so why is that your opinion?
Yeah. What makes you feel that way?
Can I tell you my point and then you tell me yours? Or are you just going to say, oh, you're going to add in extra bullshit that don't actually mean anything to the conversation?
I mean, that's how our conversation kept flowing because, Destiny said something that I didn't necessarily all the way agree with. And then I said my viewpoint about it. So y'all listened and heard me. It's like we all understanding each other's viewpoints.
So tell me why everybody in our little group chat that I was just talking to this girl about, like 3 of us called her out, and we've only known her for like 3 years or so, and then her best friend since high school just called her out, and now she's like really don't know what to say.
Wow, she's
like
starstruck.
Like all of us have said something like, and she said some real shit because she's a little bit more into that shit than I am, so she kind of hurt her feelings there.
She probably did hurt
She
her.
really don't know what to say. What can you say because it's the truth? She was saying, you're like. You're not dark skin or anything, but you're like a lightish brown skin color. You have your own natural hair. Like, you have both parents in your household. If you ever need anything, then you would get it. Like, you have a certain privilege, whether you choose to, accept it or realize it or not. That's why you can make these comments, because you have more privilege than the rest of us.
Yeah.
And not saying that we don't all have our own certain privilege, but you got more privilege than us. That's why you're making these comments.
Right.
Because you know that you're good. And those are the people that need to say something.
Yeah.
Into this conversation, I'm a little, like I said, my parents grew up in the heart of the civil rights movement. So recently, if y'all didn't know, I just recently met my biological father, who just so happens to be a very white man. Isn't that lovely? So going back to Alabama and seeing the land, I'm literally on a plantation. So imagine me in Alabama looking at all this fucking land and this man telling me everything that I own and everything that belongs to me when he passed away. Like, that shit is in my name now. So, and then when I'm looking at it, you know how on TV they got the big house, per se. The big house, where, the slave master live. And so, like, of course he lives in the big house. And so while I'm standing on the steps and I'm looking out and I'm looking like, I know this is a plantation. You can tell the way it's laid out. You can tell how everything laid out. You on a fucking plantation. So I'm looking, I'm like, where was the slave quarters? So as I'm looking, like, as you look down, you can, now it's all grown up. Like, it's like forests, and that's where he had like the cows and stuff at right now. That's some country, but that's where he had the cows and stuff right there. But you can tell that's where the slaves used to live at. And so when I make those comments to my father, he was like, well, it was hard for me to be with your mother because my mom is black and Native American. So it was like, shit. And he's just telling me, like, he like having conversations with him now, and then when I first met him, having conversation with him, he used to say, like, his father used to make comments like, you're not gonna have this nigga girl take all my money. And then for the longest, he was like, y'all finna bring in this unwanted child, me, into this world that's not gonna be wanted. And so, like, it took a minute for my father to, like, accept the fact that he was doing the norm, like, wasn't doing the norm. So this, as I say, like, this conversation can get a little iffy because I'm kind of like riding the fence. But at the end of the day, they like, you got 1% of black blood in you, you black. So I always consider myself as black, even though I knew my father was white. So it was just like, but
because it's like at the end of the day, you black to the police, like,
yeah. So, and I look at like if the Klan come through this bitch right now, I'm getting hung.
Right.
So that's how I always looked at it. But actually standing on that shit, y'all, I'm selling that shit. I can't live there.
I don't know. I feel like, shit. I feel like everybody could just feel like, I mean, if you were born in America and America's history and you know your skin tone and what you would have been, regardless of if your family is literally fresh off the fucking island to this day. In this America here where we are born and raised, you're black. It's not like I look at my paper and I could literally check off Haitian and Guyanese. I can't do that. It ain't there. It's not like West Indian is there either. Because if that's the case, then it's still not there. It's still not there. Like, it don't matter. Like, you have to hit black American, you know, African American. Even if you're not African American. But another thing about it is my dad is very educated. So he did educate me on, like, Haitian. I'm very cultured in my Guyana and Haiti. And he did definitely let me know straight up, like, you may have, you know, African descendants because somebody decided that it was okay to go in these tribes, regardless if I'm definitely from, you know, like your history, you may not, you know, there's a possibility that I may not be ever connected to America. But somewhere along the line, there are African people that were transported from Africa to Haiti. And it is what it is. Like, people decided that it was okay to go.
We all got dropped off at different places.
Yeah, different places.
We
so
all
you
are.
have to accept that there might be a possibility that you have a piece of Africa here.
What I don't like is with black people, like,
say that they're not African.
Yeah, like, all right, you might not know now, like with your immediate family,
they're black.
They might be from the United States, whatever, cool. But at the end of the day, you African, like,
because you were not here,
right? Your family's from somewhere. Like, don't be ignorant to it. Don't.
Me and my cousin had to get a
culture by saying I'm African. But
yeah.
Obviously.
Like.
Yeah.
And when people don't, I really hate the comment, you know, when they say move out of America or whatever. But I feel like the reason that we have such a hard time, you know,
because we was brought here.
We don't have we can't culturally identify to America because what culture do you really have?
No.
We don't have any roots or ties to this place.
Nope.
Shit, y'all really don't either. Like, y'all didn't come from here, and the only culture...
Y'all from England.
We don't have, like, a rich culture, like, from, you know, African countries and stuff like that. Like, they have a culture. We don't have anything to connect to. We have everybody from everywhere here. Like, that's
literally
the best part of it.
Which is why...
This wasn't for us.
We had to create a culture which is black. You know, and I read this thing that this girl, quote, I retweeted it and I reposted it on my social medias, but the girl literally she was a white woman, and she explained, like, look, I can trace my heritage back to the Europe or Irish or whatever, because we literally, it's in our history books. We traveled from England, came to here, decided, you know, look for more land. You know, like, it's a story. You got it.
Yeah, we don't have one.
And then you took a whole bunch of people from literally everywhere, and then you stripped them down. Then you said they couldn't communicate, so they had to create their own culture, which is what black.
People like us, like as strong as we must have been intimidating for them to even look and like come to an island to take us. Like,
yeah,
I would have been scared to take us. Like, and the fact that they really just like
took us,
kidnapped like millions of people. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We outnumber them.
Thousands.
Right.
Like hell, and they know that shit. Like,
that's why they had to strip us, because it was a mental thing.
Of course, everything's a mental thing. I don't know.
That's their best way of getting to us.
That's what I'm saying, guys.
Trying to get into our heads. Y'all know what happened to me also? So I was at work. I was at my job at Savannah, and at that job I can have my piercings out, show my tattoos, whatever. So this lady, this white woman, comes up to me, brings me these old ass coupons. So
I hate coupons.
Right.
This is the story of Snapchat.
Girl, okay, yeah. So I literally just get to the desk. So I call in the office to the guy, he was still in here, who was there before me. I'm like, did you say it was okay for these ladies to use these coupons? Because she's telling me that you told her she can. So he was like, okay. I'm like, all right, because I'm not trying to get in trouble or whatever. So I let her use it. So to me, I know she's mad at the fact that I called to confirm that she can use these coupons, and I wasn't just about to ring it up for her. So then she starts asking me, she's like, well, you know, why do you have those tattoos, the piercings? I mean, you're just such a beautiful girl, but you don't need that piercing. Just why? Like, why do you do it? And I'm just looking at her like,
because I'm grown.
Right, it's my body, and I do what the fuck I want to, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, you know, it is my body, and I can do what I want to do with it, right? She's like, yeah, but, you know, just just why do you do that? Normally, you know, when people do that, it's because they have problems identifying themselves.
What?
Whoa.
I was like, in my head, I said, this white bitch. I'm looking at this lady like, so you're telling me you know me well enough to say I got self-identification issues? And she's like, well, no, it's just, you know, when I ask people that do have tattoos and piercings, I mean, that's just what comes up. And I'm just like,
Who?
you dumb hoe. I said, no, I said, like, you don't know me. I really brought her through a damn a history lesson. Like, this shit, it goes way back to Africa, actually. You know, you can mark different tribes with different piercings or the amount of wealth that you have. Like, lady, you're not about to sit here and try to play me. Like, I'm, you know, like, they literally try to make us feel dumb and stupid. Like, bitch, you don't fucking know me.
Bits and pieces of somebody else's culture and putting it on your body. That henna tattoo, that's belongs us. To the Indian.
All that shit,
you know,
all these cornrows now and do rags. Oh, this is just a golden cap. Like, y'all try to make shit into something that's way cool.
The piercing, like every piece, like the
yes,
that's somebody else's culture.
Right.
You guys weren't. Y'all
making money off this shit.
And then they gonna try to tell you what?
Any type of foreign thing, they making money off that shit. It's not y'all. It's fucking us. And that's why y'all know, like, we so fucking powerful. Because we created all this shit and y'all are just, like, they literally just buying the shit off of us. Dead ass.
Literally.
Only because they're in that position of power.
Made in China.
Yeah, that whole Kim K, Kylie shit, not dead.
Right.
I bought a few.
That group,
okay, but yeah, nah, ain't no none of that shit. Unfollowed everything.
That group of people, y'all are not even white. And y'all had this whole segment about how y'all were gonna go this place and I just want to know more about my culture and da 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 da.
Aren't they Arabian?
They're Armenian.
Armenian.
That's what it is.
Armenian. Don't know a goddamn thing.
Honestly, I don't see why they can do the things that they say because that whole fucking family love black men.
But they
don't get it. They
want to fucking be us. That's why they dumbasses getting fucking lipo and implants and all this dumb shit. And cause y'all motherfuckers want to have a fat ass like us. Y'all want to have full luscious ass lips like us. But y'all be calling us fucking monkeys and shit.
Not just that. It's the fact that Kim Kardashian had the nerve to sit there and stand up for a racist ass person.
Everyone is so mad at him. I mean, it was in the past.
It was in the past. And I don't like people talking about somebody's past.
He's talking about the Swatch so well, so I just really don't get why everybody's still mad at him.
I want somebody to walk up to her black son and her black daughter and be like,
you nigga,
exactly.
Get the fuck out my face. That's gonna be a whole nother story. She married a black man, a real black ass man.